as we welcome you to the Thomas and Mack Center, which will have a sellout crowd on hand to see Holyfield and Lewis complete what is definitely unfinished business from their March 13th meeting, and that is to crown an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And this is the ring in which the two combatants will attempt to accomplish this objective in what many hope will be a much more exciting and a much fairer fashion than before. And good evening, everyone. I'm James Brown, happy to be alongside my partner once again, Roy Jones, the light heavyweight champion of the world. Good to be with you again, buddy.
Thank you, James. Good to be with you also.
You know, you and I were there on March 13th when these two fought the first fight, and let's be honest, it was not a good fight and certainly a very controversial one in terms of the decision. What's the likely scenario tonight, Roy?
Well, the likely scenario tonight is that that won't happen because the Nevada Athletic Commission has made changes. People have made changes. The fighters have made changes. And I think everybody wants to clean that up. Everybody wants to make up for the mistake that was made on March 13th. So I think tonight we're in for a much, much better night. And
you've always called it like you see it. You expect the two fighters to give a better account of themselves as well?
Most definitely. Both fighters are coming in here tonight to prove that they were not exactly where they wanted to be on March 13th, but tonight they will be there. So I look for a much better effort from Evander Holyfield, and I look for a little bit better effort from Lennox Lewis also.
I know I am, as well as the viewers, looking forward to your insight and candor as you always give us, Roy.
Thank you.
All right, now let's take you downstairs ringside to the guys who will be calling the action for tonight and all the fights tonight. Big George Foreman, Larry Merchant, and our anchor, Jim Lampley.
All right, thank you very much, James Brown. Third time this year that we've gotten ready, this group, for what might be an earth-shakingly historic event in the sport of boxing. Let's hope the third time is the charm. Larry Merchant, Roy, and James have already touched on some of the differences between March 13 and tonight. What, in your view, are the most essential differences?
First, that we're going from a showdown to a show us. Show us that you can get it right this time. New York was all feverish anticipation for the first fight. Las Vegas is a kind of lukewarm, but getting a little warmer curiosity about the rematch. Lowered expectations. Secondly, what we have here is a big difference in the rematch being called by me a do-over. As kids, we called something you did again and tried to get right a do-over. And happily for the boxing fans, do-overs help the boxing fan because usually they are better, more active, more decisive, and sometimes more dramatic. That is raising the expectations. And finally, as Roy alluded to, the Nevada State Athletic Commission has started a process that is seizing back some of the power that had been ceded to these mobs that have been running boxing, official sanctioning mobs. And they have appointed all three judges. As it happens, however, Jim, they are the usual local suspects this time.
Well, we've seen them before. We know their work. Maybe they won't be necessary. Of course, the title at stake, heavyweight champion in the world, I can lick anybody in the room, is a title which was twice held by George Foreman in his extended and continuing youth. George, we'll talk later about Evander Holyfield and what he has to do tonight to make it different from March 13th. Before the first fight in New York, there were questions about Lennox Lewis's fortitude, about his ability to show up for a big event like that, about whether he could master a well-known American fighter, one with greatness in his career, Evander Holyfield. Did Lennox answer all those questions? And if so, what does that give him going into this fight?
He answered all the above. You know, he did it very good, as a matter of fact. He didn't. Now, this time, all he needs to do is show up, as Larry said, and do again. Do all over again. And I think he's capable, and he's proven it once, he can prove it again.
So Lennox's job is just to be himself the way he was March 13th.
Don't get any more sophisticated than he was the first time, and go out and do the same thing. That's his job.
Well, we'll see if Lewis can do that later on tonight. No doubt he'll be facing a slightly different challenge, as you can't expect Holyfield to be exactly the same.
Arriving here at the arena at Thomas and Mack Center, Holyfield displayed real calm and kind of a placid demeanor when we talked with him yesterday. Would not get into the prediction game, but said he has one. He just won't make it public. So indeed, he seemed to possess the same kind of calm confidence that he displayed when he fought Mike Tyson, and as you mentioned, Roy, in the rematches against Riddick Bowe and Michael Moorer. We'll see if in fact that translates into an awfully good fight tonight. And Roy, again, as you take a look at Evander, we've talked about how well he does in rematches. Do you sense the same kind of determination as exhibited before?
Yes, I sense the same type of determination, mainly because he has something to prove. That's when Evander Holyfield is most dangerous, when he has a point to prove.
And what would you expect to see him display tonight differently than you saw the first time?
I expect him not to be passive. I expect to see him be aggressive, counterpunch, throw more counterpunches. I expect to see him dictating the pace of the fight a little bit more.
And you know, he also talked about how difficult it was, Roy, swinging up at such a tall target as Lennox Lewis. So even if he gets inside, he's still got the same kind of height problem to deal with. How does he counter that?
The way you deal with that is you go inside and go to the body to break Lennox Lewis down, make Lennox Lewis bend down to your height. Then you can deal with Lennox Lewis a lot better, because beating that body will break him down and make him bend a little bit more at the waist to try to protect his body. That's when you start punching to the head.
And as Big George Foreman always says, that body is right there in front of you to take advantage of. We'll find out if any of this comes to pass tonight in the main event.
Well, we don't, of course, at this point know which heavyweight champion will leave this arena with all the belts in his possession, but we can tell you who arrived here at the Thomas and Mack Center first. You're looking at him. The WBA and IBF heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield arrived around 15 minutes ago. There are a few people here in the Lennox Lewis dressing room waiting for his arrival. He was due at 6:30 Pacific time. So far, no sign of him, but the good bet is he will show, JB. Okay, Jim, I'm with Don Turner, head trainer for Evander Holyfield. Don, the protective cup issue. Lennox Lewis, you said, had it around his breast last time. What have you done about correcting that and making sure it won't happen in this fight?
Well, the commissioner assured us that it won't happen because that's a training cup for the gym. You know, they sell them at ringside. You know, he put it on. You know, this time we'll know before he leave out of the dressing room whether he has it.
Very quickly, you came here first, but you didn't bring everything with you. You sent somebody back for the hand pads, hand mitts?
Well, I don't know. It's no big deal. You know, we can always improvise, but they just wasn't here. So.
Finally, Don, in terms of Evander's been here half an hour, are you surprised that Lennox Lewis hasn't showed up yet? And are you concerned that maybe he won't?
Well, he said that he wouldn't fight if he didn't fight in the gloves he wanted. But he'll show up.
And there's a live look at Lennox Lewis, who 2 minutes ago arrived out in the parking lot and now makes his way toward his dressing room. Oh, about 50, 60 feet down the hallway from where Evander Holyfield will be dressing. Interestingly, both dressing rooms are festooned with University of Nevada, Las Vegas basketball slogans and mottos. And one of them is, if you don't defend, you die. Are you ready to die tonight? Certainly Lewis defended well in New York. Some fans who want a more exciting fight might hope that he doesn't defend quite as well here.
After the first fight, you told us that your stomach had ached, your legs had cramped, and you felt lethargic. How do you feel? How fit and ready to fire are you now, about an hour away from fighting this guy again?
Well, I'm great. It's not about the feelings, what I'm going to do once I get in the ring.
What'd you have to eat?
I had steak and salad.
How do you plan on making this an inside fight with Lennox Lewis tonight?
Well, I'm not planning on making it anything. I'm going to be led by the Holy Spirit. Go out there, you know, and what happened will happen, and it would be great.
But heavyweights, to win these belts, you got to impose your will on the other guy. Will you go to the body more with him?
Well, it's hard to say. Like I said, you know, I'm led by the Holy Spirit, and I'm sure that it may be a little everything.
Evander, you're a 37-year-old underdog. How anxious, sitting here right now, are you to prove the world wrong again?
Well, you know, I'm not anxious. I just know what's going to happen, and I go out there and do it in a great way and give the Lord the glory for it.
Evander, you vowed to bring more to the table this time. What are we about to see?
Well, it's going to be something great. I'm bringing a lot to the table this time.
In terms of a decision, can you win a decision against this guy?
Well, I will win regardless of whichever way I knockout decision. I guess I ain't number 2 way you can win. I guess I 3, somebody gets disqualified, but regardless, I will win.
Determined to knock him out?
Well, the fact is that, you know, I will win, and whatever way it comes, you know, is pleasing.
With heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield. Let's go back to you, JB.
All right, Nick, thank you very much. And again, that calm demeanor, reminiscent of the demeanor that he just displayed, that is, when he fought Mike Tyson And certainly he seems to be quite confident as he gets prepared for the main event that will be coming up about 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. The main event between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. And as you listen to those answers that he gave Nick Charles, no excuses this time. He said he is in good shape. And there is Lennox Lewis on the right-hand side. Lennox, for his part, feels that fear and doubt will overtake Holyfield, thinking that Holyfield knew that he, Lennox, toyed with him the last time they fought. We will find out what will take place in the main event coming up around 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. Mark, without going into all the details, we all know the judging controversy that existed the first time that Holyfield and Lewis met. Take us through what your decision was relative to the judges tonight.
We felt from the very beginning, starting March 13th, that we would put our own judges in. We had no sanctioning body input, no promoter input. We put 3 judges who've had 229 world title fights in, used to the glare, used to the spotlight.
Those judges are from Nevada.
They are from Nevada.
Might there be a time down the road that those 3 judges could be the best no matter where they're from?
Absolutely, and we do that at different times.
Will you now do this on all the big fights, or will you like let the sanctioning bodies dictate who the judges will be?
We will not let the sanctioning bodies ever dictate. We will work with them. We'll ask them for a list of 10 or 12. In the Shambaugh Mitchell, we had 10 different names. We selected 2 of them.
Well, thank you. I think that's a big step at helping cleaning this sport up, and it's a much-needed step to clean things up around here.
Certainly a decisive step on the part of the commission to make certain that this has the appearance of being as fair as possible. One of the other big issues coming into tonight's fight, the gloves that the fighters were going to use. There have been fights where the fighters have been allowed to use whatever glove they wanted to. Why not tonight, Mark?
We felt strongly that we didn't want any controversy. One fighter saying, well, the other gloves cut me or something. We wanted the same gloves. Both sides compromised, and we'll use one brand for both guys.
With that in mind, Roy, walk us through what each glove's advantage is and the fact that tonight they're making use of the Everlast gloves. Go ahead, Roy.
Well, the first glove is the Grant glove. Is this what Holyfield wanted?
Exactly.
That is the one Evander wanted.
The reason I think Holyfield wants this glove is because if you look at the wide wrist here and the padding, there's more room for him to defend against the big punches. He's a smaller guy, and he wants to be able to have as much protection as possible when defending against a big puncher like Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis, on the other hand, wants a smaller glove. This glove is much smaller if you look at them both in comparison to size. He wants a smaller glove. This is a puncher's glove. The padding is different. It's not as tight as that glove. It's a little bit looser, but the pad is so smooth and so soft until you can always feel the most impact in these gloves. This is what people like Roy Jones Jr. like to fight in. This is what has been put into place. This is a much safer glove, actually. It's a lot softer. If you look at the size, it's a lot thicker right in here where the impact mainly is. And it's just a much better glove for protection of the hands and protection of the well-being of the fighters, of both fighters. However, a good fighter would knock you out in all 3 of them.
As he says that with a bit of a smile indeed. All right. Hey, Mark, thank you so very much for your time and also answering these questions very directly.
Thanks, JB, and thanks, Champ.
All right, Mark Ratner, Executive Director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. All right, let's check back downstairs with Nick Charles. Nick?
Okay, we're with Lennox Lewis, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Lennox, this time you're the favorite. How are you going to spend this next hour mentally guarding against overconfidence?
Well, you know, I haven't got the belts yet, so I can't be overconfident. I'm still on a mission. My mission's not complete until I get all 3 belts, and I'm just serious until that point.
You want to make this an outside fight or an inside fight?
I want to make it whatever fight happens. You know, you never know what develops. I can switch styles and adapt very well. So it depends what comes out of it.
What would be your preference?
To knock him out. As simply as that. Just to knock him out.
You know, sitting here now, an hour before, mentally locking and loading for this fight, how do you envision Holyfield Lewis 2 unfolding in your mind?
I think it's just going to be a great fight. You know, I showed my superiority the first time, and this is what I'm planning to do the second time as well.
Again, all week you've proclaimed you're not going to leave any doubt. So what are we about to witness?
You're going to witness a great fight, and with, of course, Lennox Lewis winning.
What's this music, by the way?
This is Real Groove.
So you are getting ready, huh? The right way.
Oh, yeah, and got some abyss in there as well.
Okay. With the heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis. Back to you, JB.
All right, Nick, thank you so very much. A real groove, huh? Indeed, and that's what Lewis thinks he'll be in tonight when he's taking on Evander Holyfield, saying that he doesn't believe that Evander possesses very good recuperative powers, and as a result, he will press him throughout the night to make it a quick fight indeed.
Okay, if your mouthpiece comes out of your mouth, I want you to keep fighting, protecting yourself. If there's a low, go back to the corner, get it put right back in. Okay, I want you to watch your head and your elbows inside. There's no 3 knockdown rule, there's no standing 8 count. You're the champion of the world, I expect you to conduct yourself like a champion. When I say break, take a step back, protect yourself.
I'm your referee for this fight.
I want this fight clean.
I'm here to protect you.
Any questions? All right, good luck to you. Question? All right, good, go. See, can you punch or anything low? If you score a knockdown, I'm going to send you to a neutral corner. You got to stay there till I tell you to come out. If you do score a knockdown, don't hit the guy when he's down, period. Okay, if your mouthpiece comes out of your mouth, keep fighting and protecting yourself. When there's a low, we'll go to the corner, get it put back in. Okay, I want you to watch your head and your elbows inside. All right, there's no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8 count. You're a champion of the world, and I expect you to conduct yourself like a champion. So when I say break, take a step back and protect yourself. All right, this will be a good, clean fight, all right? Any questions? Ready? All right, good luck to you.
The questions that surrounds the Evander Holyfield-Lennox Lewis fight, as you look at Holyfield warming up in his dressing room, is the question of whether Evander can get inside of Lewis's jab to do damage against a taller fighter in Riddick Bowe. Evander Holyfield had no difficulty getting inside and wreaking havoc on Bowe in 2 of their 3 fights. But March 13 in New York, it appeared that Lewis was able to keep Holyfield occupied at the end of his jab. What must Evander do?
Well, Evander was able to go down to the body early and pick a fight with Riddick Bowe to make him lean forward with his head, bring the fight to him. And that's what you want to do, is make the fight come to you if you're Evander Holyfield.
Can he do it against Lewis?
Don't go out there and trying to get close to him. Make him come to you and you get close. He can do it. He can do it. He's got the skill and the experience, and he's been in with enough giants in his career.
Coming up next, it'll be our main event, the rematch between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis says that he will not need the judges this time. He will exact justice on his own by way of his power punches. As you take a look at Evander Holyfield limbering up, loosening up, making certain that leg cramps will not be an issue in this one. As you heard him tell Nick Charles earlier, he feels good, he feels healthy. So indeed, he should be able to dip and do his job nicely to try to get inside, as he indicated he will have to do today in following his game plan. Well, folks, as our main event approaches, warm up your fingers to cast your round-by-round online scoring for Holyfield versus Lewis by logging on to sports.excite.com. Now, following the main event, we'll provide the results and see how your scorecards compare to tonight's official judges. And keep in mind that while online, you can also obtain information about Holyfield versus Lewis, as well as watch the post-fight press conference. Back here now with Roy Jones Jr. And Roy, I'm reminded when we were talking about the first matchup between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, you were particularly concerned that Holyfield predicted a 3rd-round knockout. Why did that bother you?
Well, that bothered me mainly because it's unlike Holyfield to make a big prediction like that. That puts a lot of pressure on him and on his performance. When you go out and predict that you're going to do something to a guy in 3 rounds, people are looking for that happening. If that doesn't happen, it's like, what are you going to do then? But the one interesting thing about it is that Lennox Lewis was also wondering, well, is it going to happen? So that arouses a lot of questions in my mind about Lennox's ability to believe in himself.
You also talk very candidly, because Holyfield had predicted a 3rd-round knockout, he didn't have a backup plan, and Holyfield admitted as much as well. Is there a backup plan in place tonight?
There has to be a backup plan tonight. The main difference in this fight should be the fact that there's a backup plan. That's what should make the fight different. Even if he doesn't win it, that should make this fight a lot different than the first one, because he should have a backup plan. His plan in the first fight was just to knock the man out in round 3. If that didn't happen, what happened? What after that? I mean, he said he was led by the Holy Spirit or whatever, but whatever led him misled him, because he should never predict a 3rd-round knockout. I think only God can make predictions. You can't predict nothing. You don't know what God has in store for you. And this time, he's going to sit back and wait to see what God has in store for him.
And Holyfield did admit that it was his pride in reacting angrily to the fact that Lennox Lewis was calling him a hypocrite because he wasn't walking properly, if you will, or righteously. So, in fact, he got in the way of the Holy Spirit that time. Finally, I know Emmanuel Stewart would love to see Lennox Lewis be a lot more aggressive, be like a caged tiger, because he possesses the power and ability to walk over Evander Holyfield. Do you think Lewis will display that tonight?
I think he'll try to display that, but that's one thing that's going to be very touchy tonight. He has the power, the size, the ability to try to walk over Holyfield, but when a guy tries to walk over Holyfield, it's when Holyfield is most dangerous. And Lennox Lewis does have a suspect chin. Evander is one of the best punchers, pound for pound, to me, that ever been in the heavyweight division. Therefore, you have to be very suspect of his chin if he tries to do that.
All right, I know you have a lot of passion and love for the fight game. You're still very much involved and extremely good, but you don't possess any more passion for the fight game than our guy, Nick Charles. Let's check in with Nick.
Okay, there's not a ripple of controversy so far for this one, as everybody's spoken of, and as Evander Holyfield told us earlier, no cramps, no stomach ache, no lethargy. He's fit and ready to go. As for the cup that Lennox Lewis wore the first time, which the Holyfield camp thought was up to his breast and took away any body shot target for Holyfield, Mark Ratner, the executive director of the Nevada Athletic Commission, told me this one that Lewis is wearing tonight is, quote, a beautiful cup. It's conventional. It's actually, the waistband is below the belt, so no problem there. As for Lewis's camp's concern, though, about Evander Holyfield's headbutting in the past, Mitch Halpern, the referee, told me he is taking no preconceived notions into this ring with these two men. So they start, quote, with a clean slate. But right now, moments away from the opening bell, both men sitting in their locker room, I can tell you this. Everybody has their game face on. Jim Thomas, Holyfield's chief advisor, told me if President Clinton came to the door right now, he wouldn't get in. Back to you, JB.
Well, Nick, that is awfully good to hear, because keep in mind, folks, that the first time that Holyfield and Lewis met back on March 13th, it was indeed a much anticipated affair, as the two respective champions were looking to unify the heavyweight titles for the first time in 7 years. Fight fans were intrigued by the size, reach, and knockout power of the bigger, younger Lennox Lewis, while Holyfield, the classic warrior, built his reputation by defying the odds and, as I mentioned to Roy just a minute ago, guaranteeing a third-round knockout. Well, that fight did not live up to its hype or expectations and ended with one of the most controversial draw decisions ever. That's something both fighters promise will not be the case this time. March 13th, 1999, the night Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis would unify the heavyweight championship for the first time in 7 years. Not since Ali Frazier won had Madison Square Garden played host to a heavyweight title fight of this magnitude.
Now we're ready for the bout. Can it live up to its build-up?
Lewis, in the biggest fight of his often criticized career, started strong.
And he flinches against the ropes as Lewis lands a right hand. Bigger man, George. Bigger punch.
I felt that I was well in control of the fight. Like I said, I kept him at bay with the jab. I threw more punches than him. He had no answer for Lennox Lewis in this fight.
Holyfield threw only 24 total punches in the first 2 rounds, but boldly stood by his prediction of a third-round stoppage.
This round, he go out, y'all. He out of here.
Holyfield landed a left hook inside and lands a right hand, and Lewis is stunned. Evander attacking, trying to fulfill the prophecy.
I hit him with a good shot, but it didn't break him down enough. And it was almost like it's a victory for him to get past 30. He was happy, and I was kind of angry with myself.
Using his 6-inch reach advantage, Lewis regained control of the fight.
Uppercut, right hand. Holyfield stunned in the middle of the ring.
The overwhelming belief among the Madison Square Garden crowd and the millions viewing worldwide was that Lewis had claimed the victory. But when the cards were tallied, the impossible became reality.
The decision is even a draw.
Lennox Lewis has just been robbed of the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
8 months since the controversial draw comes the rematch, and at stake once again the undisputed heavyweight championship. Evander Holyfield thrives on rematches. In 1993, he avenged the loss to Riddick Bowe from the year before.
For the second year in a row, they fought the fight of the year.
And 2 years ago, Holyfield floored then-champion Michael Moorer 4 times as payback for the 1994 meeting won by Moorer.
I want to win this fight because I learned from my mistakes, and I'm willing to do what's necessary to be victorious in the fight.
Lennox Lewis is looking for redemption. This rematch offers him a chance to earn the belts the judges denied him in their first fight.
Lennox Lewis is going to be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I've been in the ring with him already, so I know what it takes to beat him. I know what I need to work on to beat him, and that's what I'm going to do.
Both fighters have had plenty of time to contemplate March 13th and why tonight will bring a different result.
Evander Holyfield has no answer for me. He had no answer for me in the first fight. He doesn't know what to do against a boxer like me.
That man don't realize that he had the golden opportunity to be the heavyweight champ of the world. But because he didn't give his all, he gets a draw. Now he's complaining about, they should have gave me. We're not in the business where they give you anything. It's where you take.
With the undisputed heavyweight championship on the line, can Evander Holyfield yet again rise to the occasion when it matters the most? Or will Lennox Lewis, with his size and reach advantage, finally earn his due? The meeting between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis last March was to bring resolution to the heavyweight division. As we all know by now, it only brought more confusion. Hopefully, after tonight, one of the sport's worst decisions can be put to rest as champions Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis begin the 13th round in their quest to unify the heavyweight division. Holyfield versus Lewis is being brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This Bud's for you. And TVKO, pay-per-view entertainment from HBO. Tonight's heavyweight championship represents an opportunity to restore some semblance of credibility to a sport badly in need of it in light of some uninspiring, controversial fights, and now recently, federal indictments against the International Boxing Federation for bribery, extortion, and racketeering. Both fighters recognize they carry the weight of the sport on their backs and promise a more aggressive, action-packed fight with a decisive ending. Fans and stars alike hope that this Peter Boyle, Everyone Loves Raymond, and a number of other folks, Dan Cortez, Marky Mark, Eddie Murphy is on hand, a big fight fan, and he has been one a long time, and he is here as well with Billy Crystal. I think Billy Crystal loves all kinds of sports. And, of course, Sarah Jessica Parker. Andre Agassi is also here as well with Steffi Graf. And, folks, we are here as well. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm James Brown, along with the man considered to be the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, and thus far, the only undisputed champion in all of boxing, Roy Jones. And Roy, we've talked so much about what we expect to see. Let's talk specifics now. Evander Holyfield had a difficult time getting inside of that jab of Lennox Lewis the last time. What can he do to be effective getting inside tonight?
First thing he has to do, JP, is be more elusive, move side to side when he goes in. Don't go straight at Lennox. He has a good long jab. Go to the left or to the right of it with his head. That way he can get closer to Lennox. Punish his body and make Lennox lower himself to Evander's level, to Evander's eye level.
Now, interestingly, with the reach advantage that Lennox Lewis possesses, interestingly, Lewis wants to get a little closer so he can press the action against Evander Holyfield. Again, is it in Lewis's heart and style to be aggressive?
It's not in his style, and I don't think it's in his heart either. However, that's why I think Evander has a slight chance in this fight, although he didn't do too well in the first fight. When Lennox aggresses, when his aggressive style that he wants to apply tonight starts to come in effect, it's going to make Holyfield want to say, okay, now I can land this big punch. That's going to make a sparkle go off of Evander's eyes. He's going to say, here's my chance to try, if I ever have a chance, here's that one time to pull off another big upset. And that's what he's going to be waiting for.
Let me throw one more your way. Some have said because Evander Holyfield is coming off of two poor performances, Vaughn Bean and, of course, the last Lewis affair, maybe he has, in fact, gotten old very fast. Is he too old, or does he have another great fight in him?
There is a possibility, but I doubt it. The thing about Evander is, against Vaughn Bean and the first Lennox Lewis fight, Evander had nothing to prove. that's not when we see Evander at his best. We see Evander at his best when he has a point to prove. Evander Holyfield, Riddick 4-2. Mike Tyson 1 and 2. So anytime he has a point to prove, Evander shows up. If there's ever a time for him to show up, and this may be the time that he does it, you never know because he is 37 years old, but if there's a time for Evander to show up, it will be tonight.
All right, and there is a point to prove tonight. And with more on that, let's take you back downstairs once again to our anchor, Jim Lampley.
All right, thank you, James Brown. We're almost ready to go. George Foreman, earlier this evening, we spoke about Lennox Lewis's challenge here, and you said Lewis just has to be himself and do what he did on March 13th. So what can Evander do to make it different?
Evander's got to let the fight come to him. Then get whatever Lennox Lewis extend out there. Don't go reaching for something. Let it come to him. Then when he comes to him, just sink down low and whip that body, and the head punches will come along. He can do it. He can do it.
Yes, he's done it before against other champions equally as good as Lewis. Larry Merchant? You heard James Brown mention the federal indictments against one of the three so-called governing bodies whose belts are at stake here tonight. The difficulties involved in the disappointing fights March 13, disappointment of Trinidad, De La Hoya, another Mike Tyson debacle, various other elements of bad publicity. So is the sport's reputation once again at stake? Is it true that boxing needs a big performance from Evander and Lennox tonight?
For the occasional fan who is attracted to these kinds of mega events, yes, 1,000 times yes. But for the true believers, even if we take another one on the chin and need smelling salts, we're not going to retire. Because one of the things we've discovered about boxing fans during all of these troubles is that they're really as resilient and as tough as Evander Holyfield. They've been battered by scandals, they've been decked by disappointments, but they keep getting up, keep coming back for more. Because even though there's nothing worse than boxing when it's bad, there's nothing better when it's good. Let's hope it's good tonight.
All right, well said. So now, with the highest of hopes, but with only the most realistic of expectations, let's try this one more time. For the so-called undisputed heavyweight championship of the world, Lennox Lewis against Evander Holyfield, here's the tale of the tape. And if you've been with us for the past 8 months, indeed, if you're one of those who waited years for this to happen, you've memorized a lot of these numbers. 3-year age advantage for Lewis. 2.5 inches in height. It looks like more when they get into the ring. 217 and 242 as opposed to 215 and 246 back on March 13 again. Most people believe 242 is a very good sign for Lennox Lewis. And the reach advantage, 6.5 inches. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
From the first fight, and these numbers tell it all, Lewis landing almost 3 times as many punches as Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield's trainers say he has to throw twice as many punches in this fight as he did in that fight. Can he sustain that sort of a pace? Same story with the jabs, although Holyfield has told some friends he intends to try to out-jab the jabber in this fight.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Lennox Lewis-Evander Holyfield fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
All right, Harold Letterman. And of course, diplomatic negotiations have surrounded all the procedural elements of this fight, just as they did prior to their meeting on March 13. Lennox Lewis agreed to enter the ring first and be introduced first. And now Lewis will begin his walk-in, preceded by his brother and chess partner Dennis. Former fighter Harold Knight, a key Lewis lieutenant. There's Lennox.
You have to move forward. You have to move forward.
We haven't mentioned the rematches of Lennox Lewis because he only lost 1 fight, and he won the rematch.
unmemorable because the rematch was the bizarre affair in which Oliver McCall wept in the ring, walked around instead of trying to throw punches at Lewis, and ultimately saw referee Mills Lane bring the sad affair to a close.
Never received much recognition for his accomplishments in the U.S. Won a silver and a gold medal in Olympics. Lost one fight in 10 years as a professional. But a crowd displeasing style has worked against him in public recognition.
If you look carefully at Lennox Lewis and you conclude that his face shows you nothing, then you are in good and populous company. He labors to project an image of unshakable calm and usually succeeds.
There are some 6,500 British fans here. I find that extraordinary, amazing. 6,500 people flew over 5,000 miles to see this man fight and try to win all the heavyweight titles for the first time in this century for a Brit.
And this despite the fact that through much of his career he was at best the second most beloved heavyweight in Great Britain, overshadowed by the far less competent Frank Bruno. But there is the record for Lewis, 34 wins, the draw in New York, the one loss to Oliver McCall, later avenged. Twice he has won heavyweight titles.
You're looking at one of the greatest fighters this country has ever produced. Great, great warrior. I doubt there's been another heavyweight who has been in as many hard, tough, killer fights, absorbed as much punishment, and kept coming back for more.
And the music with which Evander enters the ring is recorded under the label of his own record company, Real Deal Records. Smile creases the face of Holyfield. Nothing yet quite like the rapture with which we've seen him enter the ring for some of his big occasions.
The question, of course, reverts to an old saying in boxing that a great fighter, great champion always has one more great fight in him. Has Evander Holyfield already had that and other one more great fights?
Evander Holyfield's extraordinary boxing record, 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 25 KOs, 2 of the losses to Riddick Bowe, 1 to Michael Moorer, and of course the draw last March 13. Now let's go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. to step it up one more level.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the featured bout of the evening as we join together to witness the last mega fight of the 20th century. And it's all brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Panics of the U.S. Main Events, Caesar's Palace, the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, TVKO, and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, President Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Jimmy Benz, the World Boxing Council, President Jose Sulaiman, Supervisor Edmund Lipinski, the International Boxing Federation President Robert Lee Sr., Supervisor Walter Stone, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem. Commissioners Amy Ayub, Glenn Carano, Lorenzo Fertitta, Dr. Luther Mack, with the Executive Director Mark Ratner. Introducing you our physicians at ringside, we have Doctors Flip Omansky, Margaret Goodman, Al Cabana, and James Game. Introducing our timekeepers and also keeping count of the knockdowns, we have Al Bisick and Jane Broadfoot. Introducing to you our judges, all three from Las Vegas, Nevada, Chuck Jumpa, Bill Graham, and Jerry Roth. Introducing the third man of the ring, working in this, his 60th world title bout, Mitch Halpern. All right, fans, here we go with the rematch we've all been waiting for. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Las Vegas, it's time for the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing to you first the title holder on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing purple trunks with white and red trim, representing his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at 217 pounds, and with a record of 36 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, he has 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, the former undisputed heavyweight world champion, and the current WBA and IBF heavyweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome boxing's proud warrior, introducing Evander, the real deal, Holyfield. And his opponent across the ring, the other title holder on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, the big man from London, England. He weighed in at 242 pounds. The 1988 Olympic gold medalist has a professional record of 34 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 27 big knockouts to his credit. Tonight, attempting to become the first British heavyweight in 100 years to capture the undisputed title, here is the hard-hitting and current WBC heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Lennox Lewis. Once again, Mitch Halpern is our referee in charge.
All right, gentlemen, this will be clean. Protect your stuff at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Touch gloves. Good luck. Let's go. Touch gloves. Where's your mouthpiece?
Are we about to see the sad death of a great king, or yet another of his resurrections?
It was a late arriving crowd, but the rafters are now packed. 19,000 plus in the Thomas and Mack Center. An audience around the world hoping and praying, as they did back in March, for a conclusive definition of the identity of the heavyweight champ. And as they clear Lewis's corner and the British fans begin already to chant soccer style, it seems to be a crowd almost evenly distributed in its passion. Just about half for Lewis and half for Holyfield. We should have drama tonight.
Already you can see Holyfield trying to get closer to Lewis right from the get-go.
Now he's beat him to the jab. Holyfield said he would try to establish the left jab. He did.
And Lewis fires a rare left hook. Lewis beginning already to paw a little bit with the jab, trying to establish the range between himself and Holyfield.
Now, if Evander want to really land that left jab, he's got to make contact with Lewis's left foot, and then as soon as he make contact, jabbed in. If he's not made contact, don't try it.
Where is the ideal range for Evander, George? Is it right up in Lennox's chest, or is it a medium zone?
You got to be a medium. You're right there, touch his foot, and don't go any closer because you don't want him backing away. Just stay that distance. Lennox got to make sure he keeps him on the outside. Evander is bobbing, but he's not weaving. He's going to one side, and he stays there.
Holyfield misses with a left hook. Lewis counters over the top with the right hand. Evander trying to project more sheer energy than was the case in New York. And whacking away at Lewis on the inside. Something he didn't get many chances to do in Madison Square Garden.
Now for Evander, all of these close-range contacts he's making is better for him. You don't want to keep this fight at long reach.
Evander pounds to the body as Lewis is backed up into a corner already. Alperin has had to work a lot harder in round one here than he did in 12 rounds at Trinidad de la Hoya.
Certainly Holyfield is working harder in this first round than he did in the last one.
You know, he was able to get in one good left jab, and that gives him confidence. You can't start reaching at this point. You got to let the fight come to you if you're Evander Holyfield.
And Holyfield reached with the right hand, and Lewis touched him up inside with a little right uppercut as the result. But already, Don Turner is yelling at Evander from his corner. He doesn't want to fight. Yelling at Evander to try to let him know that he thinks Lewis is timid and that Evander can take command.
Evander did something very smart. He jabbed Lennox Lewis right in the chest. Right in the chest.
And a double jab there by Holyfield. Off the round one results, you get the impression it's a better Holyfield already than was the case in New York.
Lennox Lewis has got to keep his reluctancy that he had in the original bout. He wasn't overconfident. He just used his jab. Let the right hand flow.
Lewis trying to drop the right hand in on top of the left jab.
Go home. Break, step back easy.
Holyfield partially blocking it with the left glove.
The more minutes that Evander Holyfield stay close to Lennox Lewis, the better.
Where do you start out? Listen. Two jabs. Two jabs every time you jab, and two jabs, and throw that overhand right on him. He's leaning back. Don't go straight in. Always on that. Give him a little spank first.
A little bit of water. Because he's wide open for underneath shots. Instead of trying to chop over top, touch him and starts trying to rip him underneath, and you're tying him up perfect. Okay.
Then get that jab going. Get the jab.
Well, everybody, the whole crowd is into his head tonight. So when you got the whole crowd is into it. You got the mouthpiece? Mouthpiece.
I got mouthpiece. Get that jab going, man. Get the jab going. Let him control it. Control it with the jab.
Holyfield with the CompuBox edge in jabs in the first round, landing 8 to Lewis's 3. Lennox wasn't really snapping the jab as he did early in the fight in New York. Now he sticks it out there with a little bit more authority to start round number 2. But Holyfield comes back, and you see Holyfield listening to Don Turner's instruction. Throw the jab twice when you throw it. Double up.
Well, he wanted to throw the jab twice because if he misses, Lewis is not able to hit him with a jab. So you throw 2 to make the big man back up. If you miss him, you at least back up.
Hard punch by Lewis inside. The question is whether Holyfield trying to come in is on a suicide mission, or is he going to get to Lewis?
Evander's reaching out, pawing already. That's what he shouldn't be doing. He should be throwing uppercuts to Lennox Lewis' elbows, uppercuts to his chest.
And Lewis, who said he would be conscious of he would be conscious of trying to be aggressive and take advantage of knockout opportunities, is trying to load the right hand. Probably not a good idea for him.
Well, he's like Larry said earlier, he threw a lot of good right hands in the first fight, but they were nothing that hit him square right, hit Evander square in the middle of the face. Always on the side of the head.
Step back, step back.
This fight, Lewis got to concentrate on going right down the middle with that right hand.
Uppercut by Lewis as Evander jumps in with the jab. Lewis double jab.
That's what you don't want at this part of the fight, is allowing Lewis to get confident with his left jab.
You, if you're Holyfield, you mean?
Yeah, if you're Holyfield, you don't want him to get confidence with that left jab. He's dropping his left hand, make him do it lower by hitting him in the body a time or 2.
Turner asked Holyfield to throw the overhand right. Evander hasn't released it. Lewis has released his right hand aggressively 3 times in this round.
Evander throws the overhand right. He has to make contact with the left hand first.
Left hook to the body, one of Holyfield's better weapons over the years.
Well, you know, Holyfield's brain trust wanted him to have twice the activity of the first fight. He hasn't shown that kind of energy yet.
Now, the Everlast gloves are not bad when Holyfield puts his hand behind his ear, he still have a little extra padding. The Everlast glove suits him better. You're not going to see a good, clean knockout with them, but they really act as good padding for blocking shots.
In his great rematch performances in the past, Evander Holyfield was able to throw a lot of punches in situations where he could attack.
Now Lewis got Holyfield, Holyfield's got Lewis dropping his hand, looking. Now, Holyfield has the advantage. He can throw his jab now.
But his punch count is dropping off again, George. He's just not releasing his hands and throwing as much as he needs to be the aggressor.
Yeah, he's dropping his hand. That means you can beat him to the punch because the big guy has to bring him up and throw.
That round looked much like the rounds in the first fight.
Don't hesitate, champ. Give me some Vaseline. Straight. Here. Don't get flat-footed. Need more? No. Give me some water.
Holyfield throwing many more punches than in the first 2 rounds, but still fewer than 30 punches per round. Not enough.
To the shoulder, takes his right hand away. He's trying to hit you with a right uppercut.
Inside, watch Lewis come up with a nice uppercut. Later on, good body shots by Holyfield.
But overall CompuBox numbers in round 2, Holyfield 6 out of 24, Lewis 13 out of 47, including 9 of 30 jabs. Those numbers, as you said, Larry, very much like what we saw throughout the fight in New York.
I could be mistaken about this, but Holyfield in his corner looks weary somehow. I don't see any energy. His body language is not lively. That could change, you know, in 5 seconds. But that's the impression one gets from him.
And now, just as was the case in New York, Lennox Lewis able to stick the jab in Holyfield's face repeatedly and start to set up power shots. Uppercut landed again.
As said, Evander's advantage if Lewis continues to throw these uppercuts because he drops his knees. He bends his knees to throw his uppercut.
But he's got to get off, George. He's just not getting off.
As soon as he bends, Holyfield's got to jump in with a left hook. Let me tell you, he can buy something tonight. Doesn't matter if you hit him or not, just jump in with a left hook.
Lewis backs into a corner on his own and then ties Holyfield up momentarily. Halpern separates them. Lewis walks out of the corner. Lewis lands a little left hook.
And combination. Now this is unusual for Lewis to be the better combination puncher.
Now there's a triple jab from Holyfield and he sticks with it. That's one thing you said before the fight, George. If he gets into punching range, he's got to stay there and try to do some work.
And don't allow this guy to get the distance again.
Right hand lands on a counter for Lewis.
One of the things that Holyfield observed after the first fight was that Lewis was punching, as he put it, at the target instead of through the target, meaning he wasn't loading up for big punches, and that doesn't give him the time to reply as he would like.
Well, that's part of Lewis's basic cautiousness.
Now, Holyfield was able to get in some good body shots here and there. This fight goes into the 7th round. That can change things, too. Was able to jab Lennox Lewis in the chest. He didn't do that last time.
So you're suggesting that you like a lot of what Evander's doing?
I like a lot of what he's doing. He's invested in the body, even jab to the chest. I don't like him standing there getting those jabs, but when he's not in range, get all the way out of the range, which he should be doing.
When you fought Holyfield, did you feel like he had effective head movement against your jab, George?
It's a long, long time ago.
Yeah, that's right. Much has changed in the 8 years since April 9, 1991.
And that's why I named all my boys George, so I wouldn't have to remember anything.
Hard right hand by Holyfield. Cleanest punch of the bout so far.
And Lewis is getting in the kind of fight that Holyfield can benefit by. Standing close, trying to hit him back for hitting you. Don't do that if you're Lewis.
Break, sit back. Off the head. What's up there? Go.
Lewis is bending down.
And Holyfield landed the left hook.
Bending down.
Round 3 had some moments for Evander.
As
You got to just keep him back on your jab. You get lazy, don't let him get too close. Keep him back at the zone when you want to just relax. But you got to catch it with some shots from underneath here. Everything you're shooting is over top. Okay? You've got to get some shots from underneath. Get him back on the jab and keep him out there, but come with something underneath too, okay? You got to get some respect. You got to take it to him a little bit. Okay?
In the middle of the round, Holyfield lands a long right hand, no power on it because Lewis was backing up. But later on in the round, he did land a cleaner punch. Raising punch there.
So there was some excitement in the third for Holyfield fans, but still, overall CompuBox numbers, Lewis threw more and landed more. Harold, how do you have it through three?
I don't know, Jim. Evander Holyfield, I thought did enough to win the third round. He got inside, he wrapped him a couple of times real good. 2-1, 29-28, Lennox Lewis. Lennox looked real good with the jab. He was busier in the first two. Evander, the good shots in round three. So I gave Evander the third round, 2-1, Lewis.
Don Turner asked his fighter to go inside in this round. That's Evander Holyfield. So Turner apparently liked some of what he saw in round number three. Another big right hand for Holyfield as Lewis misses with a left.
And Lewis want to keep this fight at a distance. You don't want to get it close. Lewis's corner told him to step up and take the fight to him. I wouldn't do that at this point. Keep this thing at range as long as you can.
Oh, it's a man's sport, George. Let them go in and bust each other a little bit.
Yeah, but the bigger guy, he looks bigger, but he's not all that big inside. He's a tall guy. When you see a good jab like that, that means that he doesn't like mixing it up.
Now, you pointed out that Lennox was bending forward in the last round. Why would he do that?
It was the first round that Holyfield made contact of equal range with him in height. Lewis started to bend down looking for that uppercut. I guess you go into training and you start thinking, I could have knocked him out if I had done this. But forget about that. Go back to what you did.
When Riddick Bowe, a taller man, leaned forward and agreed to exchange with Holyfield, Holyfield got chances to look good. In New York, Lennox Lewis simply wouldn't do that.
Now, anytime that Evander gets close, he has to dive in. That's why they clinch. He's jumping in because of the distance. He can't get it.
And Lewis goes back to popping the jab in Holyfield's face.
And he can do that for about 2 or 3 rounds. You need not try to mix it up.
Lewis holding his left hand below his waist, inviting Holyfield to jab. Holyfield leaving the opportunity alone for the moment. Right hand over the top by Lewis. And Holyfield pounds to the ribcage as Lewis holds his arm.
Now, I haven't seen Evander do anything in this round, and we're 2 minutes and 15 seconds into it.
Lewis hasn't done a whole lot. He sits there and waits for one punch at a time.
Well, he's landed maybe 15 or 17 jabs.
Jabs score. Evander lands a right. Lewis lands a little right in return.
Lewis gets lazy and then Evander Holyfield gets closer.
And Evander again jabbing to the body, something he did not try to do in the first fight.
Oh, I'm telling you, and it's paying off great dividends. Ooh, that right hand on the side of the head hurt.
Kind of slid past Evander's ear, though.
Yep.
4 rounds in the books. A couple of them tough rounds to score.
I know it's not, but this out there, he do something big near the end of the round and excites the crowd.
He's trying to steal it.
He's trying to steal around it. But what you got to do, you got to take some aggressive stuff at him with some big shots without going over the top.
Yeah.
We keep telling you, come in underneath on the shot first. Even a simple jab, left uppercut, right hand would work. But come from underneath, you're doing everything over top. If you would really focus on your right hand and sit down and shoot the right hand straight, you can catch him with right hand. But you're trying to shoot your right hands too high. Slow down, get the right hand down here, shoot it short and try to straight, you tighten up, okay?
Should you get around that, let go with the right hand.
Stay in your rhythm now.
Close your eyes and listen.
Stay close. When you get in close.
Don't go flat-footed now. Mouthpiece, don't go flat-footed.
Double jab, double jab, double jab.
Once again in round 4, Evander Holyfield only threw 30 punches. Lewis 49. But halfway through the between-round period, you saw the graphic that indicated Lewis has landed half as many jabs in the first 4 rounds here as he did in New York. So Holyfield, though not doing much more statistically than in New York, is much more in the fight here early on.
You know what? He's good left hook.
Solid left hook by Holyfield. And Holyfield grinning as Lewis lands a big right hand. Both fighters have landed a big power shot in this round. And Halpern telling Holyfield to watch his head as Lewis goes under and then over with the right hand and almost throws Holyfield over the top rope.
Come here. The bullshit in here stops now. This isn't a wrestling match, it's a boxing match. Let's keep this clean. You understand me?
And there's a cut
Go in this corner. Big
along
cut.
the right side
Of Lewis's eye. He's not even aware of it.
It doesn't look dangerous, but you never know.
More an abrasion than a cut, according to Flipomansky, the doctor. Lewis wasn't aware of it. The blood does start to trickle outside his right eye as he goes back to the uppercut and busts Holyfield again. Lewis thinks he's got Holyfield going with these right hands.
Get back easy. Hey, come on, let's go.
British fans chanting for the man.
Lewis better get his hands up. Holyfield is doing a good job. Whenever he's close, he throws something. When the fight is away, he doesn't do anything. When you're close, throw shots.
Lewis hasn't had his hands up for 8 years, George. He loves to fight this way, as do so many modern fighters.
And he's doing something he didn't do before. He's leaning forward a little bit, trying to get that uppercut.
Absolutely. He thinks he's got Holyfield going with his big right hand connects.
Holyfield is landing good left hooks.
Absolutely. 2 in this round. And the blood is flowing from Lewis's right eye. Outside the eye, as you can see, outside the orbital bone. Holyfield trying to make it a brawl. That would be to his advantage.
That's right. You want to keep it a brawl and make that big man keep. You know, the good thing about this, I didn't mention, Lewis has his cup a little lower. That's why Evander is able to go down and jab and hit him in the body a little better this time.
Good point, George. Big difference in the position of the protective cup. Lennox going to work with the uppercut again. Every time he does, he brings his head into buttable range for Holyfield.
Not only that, he gets himself in the range of getting hit himself.
Well, despite the blood, so far it's been a big round for Lewis.
Holyfield has got Lewis coming forward. That's what you want him to do. That's the only way you can bob and weave. You can't go forward bobbing and weaving.
But again, Evander goes 20, 30 seconds without throwing a punch, George. He's got to be more active.
Lewis goes to the body a little bit.
And Lewis looking to the body.
And then going up.
Look at me. All you got to do is get a little bit closer. A little bit closer.
Get that right hand and shoot it just the way you're shooting it, not that high. Shoot it straight inside. Catch it with that short right hand, okay? The right hand is the key right now behind your left shot. The uppercut is good because it's getting his attention, but keep shooting the right hand. You shoot them right, but shoot them low. Don't shoot them high. Just what you're doing, banging out is keep setting it. Shoot them real straight, real short.
Cut is nothing.
It's a good round for you.
Lennox Lewis's cut man, Al Gavin out of New York, is as good as anybody in the sport. Larry?
Leaping left. Right in here is where Holyfield and Lewis clashed heads. Lewis came out with a trickle of blood.
Round 6 of a scheduled 12.
Now that cut isn't so bad, but it sure does chink the what you call it, the chill on confidence
well, it gives
of a
Lewis something to think about, right?
And you don't want to be doing that when you go back to the corner. You want to think about how I'm going to get him the next round, not how blood is flowing. Holyfield has got his jab going better this time.
Holyfield averaging exactly 30 punches per round through the first 5. That's the same level of inactivity that hurt him in New York.
Good left jabs by Evander Holyfield.
He is making his punches count more tonight.
Going to the body. Going to the chest again.
And knocking Lewis off balance and knocking him back.
Going to the chest again. You cannot be allowed to be hit in the chest as a heavyweight.
Why, George?
It's just like someone taking sticking a syringe and just sucking all of your energy from you. And so many young fighters don't even understand that, so they allow guys to do it.
And now Holyfield goes upstairs with the jab. Evander's off to a positive start in round 6, commanding the first minute of the round with his jab. And Lewis has dropped into a stretch of inactivity himself.
Looking for a knockout. He trained for a knockout. Now he doesn't have no idea how to get back and get this thing in control.
Right hand by Lewis. Holyfield getting the guard up.
Oh, my goodness.
Why did Lewis do that?
Frustrated.
And the Boo Birds come out in the crowd. They want to see more activity.
Lewis thought all he would have to do was come out here, and it was all his for the taking. He had no idea he would have to fight for this title. That's what it's gotten to be. It's gotten
So
to
you
fight.
think Lennox Lewis was that totally complacent coming into this fight?
Oh, no, everybody told him, you won this fight. You should have knocked him out, and he forgot about it. He won it by good tactics. He had a good strategy going.
Well, so many times in Evander Holyfield's career, it's been easy to be misled into believing that it was over.
Those jabs to the chest, one after another. And I'm telling you, a knockout could follow those kind of punches. All he has to do, Evander, now is get in one left hook to the chin just to be over.
Lewis headhunting in this round, concentrating on long right hands to Holyfield's head. Evander working to Lewis's body and stepping up the activity level in this round.
I don't
Lewis
think
is waiting and he's complaining.
I don't think that Holyfield's offense is bothering Lewis. It's the fact that he's harder to hit than he was in the first fight.
Oh, his offense is bothering him greatly. He's hitting him in the body, in the chest, things he didn't do last time.
Break, go.
We're not getting flat-footed. Beautiful work. Get in close. Keep your arms close. Close. That's why he got to reach around you to hold you. And when he reaches around you, let go with a combination. And roll out. Then you hit him with the left hook.
Holding on to too much shit. Let it go. And keep shooting the damn right hand straight. Those short right hands. I don't care if they miss, keep shooting them. Even if they go over the top of his head, it's wearing him down to tying him because you're so big. But you just cut off completely. It's the same way you lost some other one and get your ass in trouble on the damn scorecard because you're not fighting. It's not that he's doing nothing. He's doing better than you. You're waiting too damn much.
All right.
Let the shots go.
Right now.
And back with the jab, too.
Crazy moving and bump a little left and throw your foot.
Stay off the rope.
Right now, Lewis says, let's see if it's right now.
Round 7 of the scheduled 12.
Lewis played around and waited around too long, and he turned this thing into a fight. He didn't need to be in the fight.
And there's what Lennox Lewis was talking about, I guess, when he said right now, uppercut lands with thunder. Quickly, Harold Letterman, how you got it through 6?
4 rounds to 2. 58-56, Lennox Lewis. I gave Evander Holyfield a 6th round because he was busier. There's no question. Lennox didn't punch, but he's punching this round.
Now Lennox fires the uppercut and throws Holyfield off and lands the uppercut again. He's just waiting on that uppercut now. Buster Douglas got himself knocked out against Evander Holyfield, trying to land an uppercut from distance.
All Evander is staying there in the pocket, weathering the storm, and anything that he can get in after the storm, he takes it. Lewis should be jabbing and making this a fight.
They both land uppercuts there. Holyfield with the right hand and Lewis with his own right hand.
Look,
big left hook by Holyfield.
They're head to head now, head to head.
Lewis is hurt. Now Lewis smiles as Holyfield comes in. Holyfield thinks he's got a target.
It was a left hook inside that hurt Lewis.
It was a big one. That left hook partially blocked by Lewis's right hand. Lennox leans against the ropes himself. Holyfield working the body. Lewis has decided that the uppercut is his bread and butter. Keeps coming back to it.
Lewis has no idea the effect of those jabs to the body and to the chest has taken on him. He has no idea.
Evander Holyfield with a better plan tonight. A little bit more energy. Not that big a difference, but enough to make it much more of a fight. And that's what
body shot hurt. That body shot hurt. Evander Holyfield landed a good body shot, and it hurt Lewis.
Hard left hook by Holyfield. Lewis stunned again. Lewis stands in. Holyfield fires back with the left hook. Holyfield, the quicker fighter, through the last minute and a half of round 7. Lewis almost casual with the uppercut. Big target there for Holyfield.
Emmanuel Stewart told him to go out and get at Holyfield, and this is the result. But here comes Lewis now.
Lewis rallying again. Combinations. Hard right hand by Holyfield. Lewis to the body. His own right hand lands flush. They trade shots at close range. Round 7, the best round these two fighters have fought against each other in 2 fights. That's heavyweight excitement.
How you feeling? You got to take your round now. You got to pick it up. Keep taking it to him now, okay? Keep taking it to him.
Get on the angle.
I got it. Hold on.
What the referee about his head?
He's not going to say nothing about his head. You can forget that.
Cover his punches and work on him inside.
Early in the round, that left hook apparently discombobulated Lewis for a few seconds. He's holding on here. Later in the round, once again, Lewis coming back in the last 20 seconds of the round. And you heard Emmanuel Stewart still thinks that the best fight for Lewis is to engage Holyfield right in the middle of the ring.
CompuBox numbers in round 7 virtually even. Lewis 20 of 39, Holyfield 21 out of 45. Letterman, as you saw, gave the round to Holyfield, probably because of the big left hook shots. Right hand lands for Lewis. Holyfield much more engaged, looking much more confident than at any point in New York. Lewis obviously much more conscious of wanting to knock his man out tonight, and therefore creating opportunities for Evander.
Lewis is looking strictly for a knockout. Evander Holyfield now, all he has to do is play off of that counter punch, pull it on home.
Every landed punch but one in round 7 was a power shot.
There's that left jab to the body by Holyfield again. Left hook upstairs now.
Another left hook, and Lewis backs up and ducks, fires a right hand back, and goes to the body. Finally, Lewis begins to exercise the wisdom in trying to get to Holyfield's body and take some of the sap out of those punches.
Lewis is totally leaning forward now. He is into trouble. If only Holyfield could just muster up a little energy to throw a couple hooks.
This is the Lennox Lewis who fought Ray Mercer in Madison Square Garden. Tactically wrong, engaging in warfare, and trying to rise to the occasion against a fighter who likes to fight this way.
He has made up his mind, Lewis has, that he's going to fight.
Lewis getting smarter and going to the body.
You've got to land some punches to the body.
Where's the jab with which Lewis dominated the first fight? George did. Evander take it away with those jabs to the chest?
Yes, he did. Certainly did. Sucked the juice all out of that left jab. Now he's got a fighter the same size as him.
And it looks from time to time that Lewis is a tired fighter. When he went 10 rounds fighting this style against Mercer in Madison Square Garden, he was totally exhausted at the end.
Yep, and because of those body punches. And the bringing of that cup, that protective cup has been lowered. Holyfield got a green light to get down low.
So it's a much more even fight. But despite everything we're saying, Lewis has landed some shots in this round and may in fact be winning the round.
go. Break. Step. I'm in here.
He's got his hands low. Holyfield couldn't miss if he just jumped in a Floyd Patterson left hook.
Which he did right there.
Oh, jump in.
Their heads come together again, and Lewis produces some good infighting as he drives Evander back to the ropes. Evander trying to flurry at the end of the round. Lewis blunted him there.
I don't know if they're getting it right this time, but they're certainly getting it right turn.
It's all on your feet. Come on. Breathe deep. Come on. Tim, you gotta cool him off. Put it on his head.
He's just weak. He's falling all over the place, but you're not pushing. Plenty of stiff jabs. You got to take it down the stretch. Now, we can't fuck around with no more of these rounds, man. The fight is close. The fight is definitely close. Okay, you got to take it to him. Push the jab. Push the jab hard. As like you said, push out with the right foot. Make sure you move his whole body with the jab. And then when you shoot that right hand, shoot it short. You can hit him with the right hand, but shoot it short. But throw it big.
When you're outside, make sure you're far enough where it can't hit you. When you move inside, move in quick. Move in quick.
Slip jabs on your left shoulder. Time to work,
Lennox Lewis asked by Emmanuel Stewart to resurrect his jab. Stewart, as a trainer, has never lost a heavyweight title fight. Lennox Lewis has never knocked an opponent out past the 8th round. Holyfield has, and he goes for one here.
Holyfield was able to get in a double jab here, double jab there, make the guy wait for it, and then come over top with a right hand. He was able to do it great. That's the old boxing style.
I like what Lewis is doing to Holyfield's body. He's equalizing the momentum somewhat with that body attack. Stewart asking Lewis to try to set up a right hand with the jab.
Lewis just seems to need too much room to get his jab going.
Let go, break, step back.
You should jab. Don't wait to get in distance.
Lennox goes back to the uppercut. Evander whacks to the body again.
Break, no punch. I'm in here. Good.
Holyfield's eyes are clear. Not so with Lewis.
Holyfield looks like the fresher fighter. Lennox is still throwing more punches.
Lewis better keep his head up.
When Lewis was exhausted and in trouble against Mercer in Madison Square Garden in a very similar
fight. What a good left hook to the body by Evander Holyfield.
The Englishman showed courage and heart in the 10th round to win the fight. Holyfield stepping it up again with that double pumping jab inside.
Lewis jab is a different fight, but when he stands there and waits for a big punch, Evander takes over.
Left hook to the body by Lewis. You don't see that very often.
He's going to have to do a lot of that.
It's not usually a weapon in his arsenal.
Let go. Sit back. I'm in here.
Got to admit that Evander's been in with a lot of giants, and he's never backed down from a one.
Well, Evander Holyfield won't back down from anybody. Uppercut lands for Lewis. Holyfield misses the left hook. Lewis lands the uppercut again.
Holyfield might be hurt right here.
But will Lewis take advantage of it?
Multiple punches for Lewis. Holyfield not throwing back. Fires the right and drives Lewis into the ropes. Lennox goes back to the body and the uppercut. Thrashing Holyfield with power shots. Holyfield's going to try to flurry again to convince the judges he's won the round. It's a smart professional thing to do.
Holyfield is an excellent boxer. Knows what to do and when to do it.
Lewis got in a last shot, so Holyfield decided to fire a left hook after the bell.
Cool him down. Look ahead. Here we go.
Right.
Baby.
You can't
rub his low back. Rub his back with eyes and eyes.
You can't pull straight back.
The jab this round here now. That was yours. You won that, but that uppercut over here is what pulled it out, really. But use your damn jab this round. He's tired. Make him have to.
Now let's see if we can catch that uppercut that hurt Holyfield right there. Lewis, big uppercut. Lewis trying to follow up.
If he'd had a left hook to follow with.
I have a question for you, George. When Lewis goes in and battles him, you say he should jab. When he doesn't battle him, you suggest he doesn't have the gumption or the courage to stand with him. Now, which is it? Because in the last few rounds, he stood right with Holyfield and gone. I mean, this is a common thing we hear about Lewis.
The one thing about Evander, when he protects himself, he puts his arm all the way behind his ear, so that's why he's able to get caught with uppercuts straight up the middle. Always put it behind his ear.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 9? 6'3" or 5'4"?
No, 6'3", 87-84, Lennox Lewis. I give Evander Holyfield around 6 and 7. He is making it close, but I got to tell you something, Jim. Judges very often look at a fighter's physical appearance, especially in close rounds. Evander looks like he's fresh, and in certain rounds, Lennox looks like he's tired. And that's what fools the judges. There's no question Lennox will land more punches and lose rounds because of that mouth is wide open.
It's an interesting point, Harold, because I observed before that Holyfield looked weary in the corner between rounds, and he does. But when he gets out here, he doesn't look weary, and that's where it counts.
Well, that's an exercise of will. 6'3" on Letterman's card. I'll bet you anything. There's at least one judge at ringside who has Holyfield ahead in the fight.
But I can tell you this, Larry, Lewis should not engage into these exchanges. It's no good. He doesn't need it. He has the reach. But Evander Holyfield, this benefits him. He should try to create as much of this as he can.
But he just landed another big right uppercut.
And then you say, George, that he doesn't have it inside when he does that.
No, he doesn't have it inside. That's why he shouldn't do it.
Straight right hand lands for Lewis. Evander not throwing right now. Lewis with 2 body shots. And Evander's left hook upstairs was blocked by Lewis, who looks tired, but still has the energy to fire the 2 body shots and block the left hand.
That's the good thing about training. Whenever Lewis moves to Evander's left, Evander can't get anything off. He just goes to the left, nothing.
Left hook lands for Lewis.
Oh, boy, that was some good, clean left hook. I don't think it did a lot of damage, but it just landed. You know, earlier we've talked about the 4 pounds Lewis took off for this fight from the last fight, which indicates that he had trained hard. Well, he's going to need that kind of conditioning to get through these last
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
He's moving to Evander's left,
and that's where it will pay off. If indeed that was an indication of his best conditioning.
Evander Holyfield didn't throw many punches in this 10th round. 6 minutes to go. It'll be the 11th time in Holyfield's career that he's been into the 2 championship rounds. Lewis, far less. It'll be his 3rd. 6, I mean.
And we gonna win these 2 goddamn rounds.
You'll win it. Get that damn jab to working, baby. You get your jab to working and try them little short, straight right hand. But at least you shoot the right hand and hook behind it. What you need to do in your best punch, whenever you make your little fade off, you let them miss the same thing you did and do that the 11th round like you did the last time. You let them miss a lot, step it up, but push it through after that. Okay? Push your damn right hand through.
Get 2 rounds, man. 2 rounds to get what means this much to you.
Combination punches on the inside, man.
You got to have faith in God that you can go at this 100% for 2 rounds, and you can do it. 100%. You're a workhorse. Let's go see it now. Don't take anything off. 3 minutes of work.
3 minutes of work. Let's go, buddy.
CompuBox numbers in round 10. Lewis landed 23 out of 44 punches. Holyfield 9 out of 34.
Does Holyfield have 6 intense minutes that his corner is asking him for?
He's got balance in his feet at this point.
Yes. He's... What a fighter this guy is.
Straight left for Holyfield. Lewis landed a right hand earlier.
I mean, he's 37 years old.
What a man he is.
37 years old and without a real big punch. You know, there have been older fighters that have done well because they had a big punch. But to work at the high energy level he needs to, because he's a small heavyweight, he's just a remarkable guy.
Holyfield busting Lewis to the body with the left hand and then trying to get upstairs. Holyfield showing much more energy here in the 11th than he showed in a seemingly weary round 10.
Ooh, good body shots by Lewis.
And a quick left hook inside by Lewis. Landed flush. Holyfield takes a punch so well.
When Lewis goes out and jab and steps around, he has this fight won. Whenever he takes his trainer's advice, getting in there, that's when things turn around.
All right, break, step back. Watch your head, watch your head. Step back, let's go. Hey, break, step back, let's go.
Well, Lewis is just standing on the mound, pitching now.
Break, keep going in here.
And when Holyfield comes forward, Lewis leans forward and pops him with that uppercut.
Well, he's on the mound like a pitcher, and he just stands there and does whatever he wants.
Ooh, hard left hook by Holyfield.
Break, sit down.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart a couple of rounds ago telling Lennox Lewis, the fight is close. Don't mess around in there.
He stands on his mound, and those body shots hurt.
Right hand by Lewis. Holyfield misses his left.
Watch your head. Break. Watch your head.
Lewis is better try to put everything to rest and win this round.
Ooh. Combination by Lewis. Holyfield lands a big right hand in return.
Easy. Let go. Step back. Let go, Evander.
You can believe when Evander gets hit, he's going to hit you back.
Closer than New York.
Let go.
Much closer in terms of energy and the kind of effort the two fighters are putting forth. But still, Lewis throws more and lands more in almost every round.
Break. I'm in here, don't fight.
Will the judges see it that way? Blood on the bridge of Lewis's nose.
Let him up. Don't punch.
The cut outside Lewis's eye from the butt early in the fight has never begun bleeding again. 4 punches land for Lewis. Holyfield can't get one in. Lewis jabbing and bouncing now. His energy coming back.
Let go. Let him up.
Yeah, Holyfield is cut.
Yep, blood on the left cheek of Evander Holyfield. Might have come from one of those right uppercuts.
One more round. That's how bad it all. 1 round to go. Hardly need to do anything with it.
Come on, let's cool him off real good.
Put your head on.
Last round, Evander.
Last round. You don't have to worry about holding nothing back. Let it go, okay? You got to fight, I believe, but I'm not sure. But you got to win this last round, Lennox. You know what it did last time just to get a draw.
Got to win it.
Okay, but you got to win.
Stay small, that's all you got to do. You don't let him off the hook when you get him in trouble. You can do it. You let him
Dig real deep this round. Hit them comments.
Let's get up. Come on, let's get up. Come on.
We get ready for the 12th round. 3 points. Lennox Lewis has never lost a decision. Evander Holyfield has never had a 12th round knockout. And if Lewis wins, he's the first unified British heavyweight champion since Bob Fitzsimmons in 1897. Harold Letterman with Lewis ahead by 5. I'll bet you anything, all 3 official judges have it closer than that. Just a guess.
This has been a close fight.
I'm not saying I disagree with Harold's card. Just that I'm betting it's closer than that on the official card.
Evander's got some thunder on those punches, I'm telling you. Lewis just doesn't seem to respect Evander Holyfield's power. He hits him hard, he just drops his hand and walks right to it.
What should the two fighters be doing in this round, George?
Evander's got to pull it out. He just can't sit there and box this round. He's got to fight. If ever you're going to fight, this is the fight of your life fight.
Lewis stuck the jab in Holyfield's mouth, then just missed with the right hand. Holyfield trying to put the pressure on. Uppercut lands for Evander. Lewis slightly staggered. Now he looks to land his right. Evander with a lot of energy here in the 12th. Lennox seeming to try to load one big shot. Now he goes back to the jab. Lewis throwing his punches sloppily here in the 12th round.
Head, that was your head going up. You okay? Go.
Minute and a half to go. Uppercut lands for Lewis. Crowd trying to chant Holyfield into yet another of his dramatic career moments. Holy, 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 they chant. Lewis trying to measure him in for an uppercut.
Lewis has got to fight. Just can't think about winning a decision.
This round is on the table for the taking. Nobody has made a big definitive statement in the first 2 minutes. If the fight is on the table here, if anything, Holyfield's had the better of it with sheer energy.
Lewis' corner told him, don't hold anything back.
He might not have anything to hold back.
Yeah, you always got something you wish you had done in the hotel room.
2 body shots by Holyfield. He sticks in a little uppercut. Lewis, in trying to land the one big shot, hasn't thrown enough punches in the 12th round.
Lewis is holding on.
Right hand lands for Lewis.
Hits
Again, he ties Holyfield up inside. Lewis may think that he's won the fight and needs only to survive. We're going to find out in 5 more seconds of fighting. They fought a lot better fight this time, and the fans appreciate it.
I had Lewis winning the fight, much better fight. Holyfield fought better. I thought Lewis won it.
You, George?
It was a close fight. And when you're in a close fight like that, you just got to wait for the judges.
Well, we already know who Harold Letterman thinks has won the fight. We'll get a look at his final scorecard in a few moments. In round 12, Holyfield landed 13 out of 46. Lewis landed 14 out of 35. So Evander was throwing more punches, and in the first minute of the round, he landed that right-hand shot and that left hook. And then later on in the round, a Holyfield uppercut landed flush. So even though the punch stat numbers were fairly even, and here's Tim Hallmark, Holyfield's longtime physical trainer, praying in Holyfield's corner during the course of that 12th round.
You just hope the judges are not swayed by what happened in the previous fight. Just score this fight the way it was tonight and the way it is tonight and forget about the past.
Do you have a winner in your head, George?
Yeah, it's a close fight this time. When a close fight, I'll go for either guy. But Holyfield did a lot better. If he had not had the stigma of that last fight, I think there wouldn't be any questions that he could have pulled this off.
You think Holyfield might have won the fight, George?
If had not been for the original thing, you see.
A lot of people think that the way the first thing went would redound to Holyfield's advantage. Harold, how did you score it?
Well, Jim, after 7, it was a close fight. 4 rounds to 3. But 8, 9, 10, 11 belonged to Lennox Lewis. He landed the punches. He threw the shots. Better, cleaner punches at 8, 9, 10, 11. Evander pulls out the 12th. 8 rounds to 4. 116, 112, Lennox Lewis.
All right, let's find out who really won it from Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight boxing crowns an undisputed heavyweight champion, as after 12 rounds of action we go to the scorecards with a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Jerry Roth, scores at 115 to 113. Judge Chuck Joppa scores at 116 to 112. Judge at ringside, Bill Graham, sees it 117 to 111. All 3 in favor of the winner and the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
No, Lennox Lewis.
Fireworks,
Had to
confetti.
be wondering why in the world would he be doing this fight in a second time anyway.
I think they got it right this time, George. I
It's
believe
done.
Lewis was the winner. I think that those scorecards, matching fairly closely the Harold Letterman scorecard, were faithful to the action in the fight. I think we can all be happy that we got legitimacy here tonight. And now let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with the undisputed heavyweight champ.
All right, thank you, guys. Congratulations, Lennox. You had some anxious moments after this fight, understandably. What were you thinking about before they announced the decision?
Well, I was concerned because it went to the decision. I was really concerned because, you know, I realized that he wasn't doing any work in the beginning of the rounds, and he was trying to steal it at the end of the round. So I didn't know what the judges were looking for. So I was trying to bide my time and score the points at the same time.
He hit you with more shots in this fight, some clean shots. In the middle of the fight, he seemed to daze you for a moment. Were you ever seriously hurt?
No, I wasn't hurt. I was just playing. I was playing because I wanted him to sap his energy a bit. And it worked for a couple because I realized he was breathing after that.
What did he do to make this a more difficult fight?
Well, you know, when I was jabbing him, he was just coming in with his head and trying to get in close with his head. So I was concerned about his head, at the same time backing up and trying to score my points.
So you were not able to control the fight with your jab as you did last time because he jabbed more, because he came inside more, and so you had to engage him in more exchanges in this fight?
Yeah, when I was exchanging with him, he was keeping his head low and he was coming in straight with his head straight. So it was hard for me to engage some shots. At sometimes I would just move him to the side and throw off a combination. I was trying to catch him with the jab as he was coming in.
As we're standing here, 6,500 British fans traveled 5,000 miles to witness this moment. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking I've got to go on with all the belts, for real. With all these fans coming here to support me, I've got to pull it out. So I have to push myself and get in there and really, you know, really dig down.
The first unified heavyweight champion from Britain in a century. What do you think this will do for your legacy as a fighter, for the respect you have tried to win over the last decade?
I think, you know, I went through some trials and tribulations, and, you know, enough people were trying to stop me. The Americans didn't want me to take it over the Atlantic to Britain, but I actually persevered and succeeded.
Will you come back to America to defend your title?
Yeah, because the money's big over here. I realize the casinos are paying big money, but, you know, I might fight one fight over in Europe first and make everybody come over there.
What are you going to do to celebrate tonight?
I'm just going to chill out, really. I don't really overdo it. I know a lot of people are going to want to talk to me and see me, and I'm just going to relish the moment.
Thank you very much. We relish this fight.
Yes, big up IRFM, our crew. Big up. Yes.
Jim.
All right, Larry Merchant, part of the controversy after the first fight in New York was fueled by CompuBox numbers. So let's take a look at a statistical profile of this fight, not the be-all and end-all, because CompuBox can't measure how hard the punches are. But here are the numbers. Total punches. Holyfield landing similar numbers to those in New York, only a little bit higher in both categories, 137 out of 416. Lewis, not quite as good as in New York, but still with an edge over Holyfield. Jabs. Lewis's jab not nearly as apparent in this fight. Holyfield's jab much more apparent, particularly those which he threw to the body. And then we look at power punches, which doesn't mean they were bombs. It means that they were hooks, crosses, uppercuts, anything other than jabs. And Lewis with the edge there and a big edge in connect percentage over Holyfield. That in the end is probably what won him the fight. Let's go back to Larry Merchant.
All right, again, thank you, Jim. Evander, in those moments waiting for the decision after what happened in March, what were your thoughts at that time? Did you think you had won the fight, or did you just not know how the decision was going to go?
Well, you know, the fact is, you know, first of all, I want to thank the Lord, and you know, He's good, His mercy. Lord give victory, and you know, man give decision, but we have to live with Him. But in the front of the decision stuff, you know, I did all that I could. You know, I wasn't judging the fight. You know, like I said, you know, my words don't twist. when things fall into the hands of the judges, you know, the judges make a decision to who they want to give.
What do you believe in your heart and your head about the decision?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. You know, the fact is that, you know, I go in there and I don't observe the fight. You know, I do all that I can while I'm there.
How did you make this a more competitive fight than the last one in the eyes of many of us?
Well, you know, the fact is that, you know, I was able to take away the jab. I didn't get hurt by the jab, and I was able to engage the jab and to be able to know that, you know, McCona tell me all he's trying to do is make you make the first move where he can just pop shots. And I was able to, you know, count off his pop shots.
So did that mean that he had to come in and stand in exchange with you, which is what you wanted?
Well, he did, and
do you give him credit for that? Because you have said in the past, well, he might not be all that willing to exchange.
Well, the thing is that, you know, Lennox, you know, my whole thing, I'm always give the fighter that I fight credit. You know, that man did all that he could. It's not like he had anything to do with the decision no more than the fight himself. And, you know, he was able to come back when I hit him some shots. I felt that I hurt him a few times. He was able to rattle it back. You know, as I feel that the fight was more of a competitive fight than the last fight.
Did his uppercuts hurt you because he seemed to throw a lot of them inside?
Well, you know, no, because he was hitting me on the glove a lot of time, but with all this force, he gonna rise me up anyway. I have to go with it, you know, like that. And, you know, he got some good shots in, but I'm just a big thing in life is that, you know, you give your all.
All right. Given that, do you feel good for yourself, even though you've lost the titles, that you gave everything you had, and after having said that in the last fight you couldn't?
Well, you know, the fact is that, you know, in the last fight I gave all I had, what I had that day, and I gave what I had today. And the fact of the matter is, you know, when it falls into the judge's hand, you have decisions.
Will you continue to fight?
Well, I don't know. Just like I said, I would have to go back. I have to go back and pray about it, and you know, and see what I want to do.
Thank you. As always, Evander, class act, class fighter. You've been great.
Thank you.
To you, Jim.
Well, they promised better judging here in Nevada, and we got it. Unanimous decision from 3 top veteran judges, 115, 113, 117, 11, 115, 113. Those scores pretty much in line, slightly closer in 2 instances, but pretty much in line with Harold Letterman's scorecard. Here's the great irony. In New York, Evander Holyfield got his draw by winning rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11 on all 3 scorecards. Lennox Lewis won this fight tonight by dominating rounds 8, 9, 10, and 11. George Foreman, there are a couple of obvious choices available for Lewis. The very obvious choice in his future is to go ahead and make money fighting the big, well-known retread heavyweight names. Great fighters, but guys whose careers are probably past them now. Holyfield, Tyson, that's where the money is. What would be better for the sport, I think, is if he moves it forward by fighting some of the young heavyweight contenders who have made their names and are ready. Michael Grant, David Tua in particular. What do you want to see him do?
Look, the whole world would like to see him fight Mike Tyson. Forget it. Just forget it.
It's a wipeout, George.
Don't even go that way.
Close.
Don't even go that way.
It wouldn't be close.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be a good fight. People would come out. This is prize.
I don't think it would be a good fight, but you can say it if you want.
Fighting. You don't fight for anything but those persons.
Okay, so you want to see him go for the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better believe it. When you start fighting for other stuff, you end up walking crooked, and you don't have anything to prove for it. Evander Holyfield put on a good fight tonight.
You want to see him fight Tyson and Holyfield before he fights Grant or Tua?
I don't know Grant. I know Tyson.
You don't know Grant. You've covered several of his fights.
Yeah, but you got to know him.
The public might not know him, but you've covered several of his fights, George. Yeah. Isn't he ready?
No.
Okay. I could not disagree with you more. Let's go back up to James Brown.
All right, Jim and George, and certainly from this layperson's perspective, style-wise, I thought Evander Holyfield immensely better. He did, in fact, press to fight Roy Jones, as he said he would. Much more competitive fight this time, but give me your thoughts.
Well, this fight was different. This fight was something that was hard to call. That was a very difficult fight to call. Had a draw come out of this, I wouldn't have been mad about it because that was a tough fight to call. My hat goes off to Evander Holyfield. He made a lot of improvement. He made a lot of changes. He came out, gave up 25 pounds, and showed that he could make up for his mistake in the first fight. Lennox Lewis, on the other hand, made the same mistake in this fight that Evander made in the first fight.
Which was?
He tried to knock Evander out. And to me, he wasn't that impressive, and I thought the fight could have gone either way.
With that in mind, that Lewis wasn't that impressive because he was going for the knockout, strategically, tactically, what will Lewis have to improve on in order to reign as the undisputed champion for a while?
At 34 years old, he's not going to improve on much. He's a power puncher. He has to learn how to establish his range. Had he been able to establish his range, which means keep Holyfield out at a distance to where he could do damage with his best punches, then he would have been a lot better off tonight. He did do a good bit of damage with his uppercut, but it was just very far and few in between. So I like Lennox as a person. I like him as a boxer. I like to see him box. I'm very big fan of boxing. I'm glad that we do have a heavyweight champion, an undisputed heavyweight champion. I think this was an improvement from last fight because we did make an effort to make sure that somebody got a fair shake. And that's a fair shake to me because the fight could have went either way in anybody's mind, but it was a good fight, and we got the best judges here to do the best thing. So I think tonight was a very successful night for the heavyweight division.
That was going to be my final question. You are okay with the decision tonight?
Very much so. I'm okay with it.
All right, there are now two undisputed champions in boxing, Roy Jones Jr. and Lennox Lewis. All right, folks, earlier in the evening we told you how you could score Holyfield versus Lewis online, round by round, by logging on to sports.excite.com. Here are the results from you, our unofficial judges. As we take a look at it, indeed, you felt the same as the judges, that Lennox Lewis won tonight's fight over Evander Holyfield. So your eyes were as good as the judges. 7 rounds to 5. Lewis over Holyfield. Holyfield versus Lewis was brought to you by Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers. This Bud's for you. Excite.com. Tape up, weigh in, and log on. Caesar's Palace, the home of champions. Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, the most exciting destination in Las Vegas. TVKO, pay-per-view entertainment from HBO. And finally, we'd like to thank the following magazine partners. So for Jim Lampley, Larry Merchant, George Foreman, Roy Jones Jr., Nick Charles, and Harold Letterman, this is James Brown saying so long from the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. The executive producer of TVKO is Ross Greenberg. Tonight's broadcast was produced by Rick Bernstein and directed by Mark Payton. Feature producer, Thomas Odefeld. Associate producers, Betsy Aronin and Michael J. Whalen. Assistant to the producer, Matt Boland. The production manager, John McCallie. The technical supervisor, Bob Hunter. And the technical director, Douglas Getz.